Good afternoon once again. Brian Mays along with senior reporter Tony Plahetsky here in the KVUE studio with our breaking news out of southern Bastrop County. Again, a school bus colliding with a concrete truck on State Highway 21. Tony, you have learned some new information.
With a third possible vehicle involved, Brian, just within the last few minutes as we go on the air, authorities are still saying that they believe that there are 2 people who are confirmed dead, including, unfortunately, a child. That remains preliminary information, but it is now coming from multiple agencies at the scene. And Brian, to that extent, I just want to also add that this has now turned into a region-wide response, including Travis County, Bastrop County, Hayes County, Caldwell County, and Hayes County is actually working now to get the children who are at the scene from that school bus who have only minor injuries reunited with their parents. So that effort is underway and being led, I'm told, by the Hayes County Sheriff's Office.
This crash happened around 2:30 this afternoon, again on a stretch of Highway 21, just east of State Highway and Toll Road 130. KVUE's Ford Sanders is live near the scene in southern Bastrop County with more information. Ford, what are you seeing there this afternoon?
Absolutely. We're right off of Caldwell and State Highway 21, like you mentioned. When we pulled up here, this scene is massive right now. Let's go ahead and look at it. I want you to see exactly what's happening in terms of the response here. You can see multiple law enforcement agencies. I even saw Bastrop ISD was here assisting in this. Now we're looking down there. You see that school bus seems to be off of the road right now. It seems like the tail end of that school bus is actually off the back end of this road here on State Highway 21. We still don't have many details other than what was just said from Tony. We are hearing, of course, some multiple transports happening to Dell Children's. Actually, on our way down here, we did see ambulances. Can't confirm it was from this scene, but we saw multiple ambulances speeding their way right there into Austin. But as of now, we just see law enforcement all over, just spraying the scene, making sure they get this bus help. But like I said, it is off the road right now, and that's about all we have at the moment. Now we're working to get with sheriffs and others here in the next little bit. They're still cleaning up the scene, taking some cars out, trying to figure out what's really happening right here.
KVUE's Ford Sanders live at the scene there of the bus crash. Ford, I don't know if you can still hear me. We'll get back to Ford in a minute. Tony's back with us. Again, Tony, this happened about 2:30 this afternoon. We know upwards of 30 people were on the bus. We don't know, again, the severity of most of those that have been injured this afternoon.
And to be clear, when we talk about the medical response, Brian, all of those passengers on that bus are essentially declared patients, at least from a medical response. But I am also told that of those 32, some of them are code green, as medics call it. In other words, that they don't have injuries that are necessarily significant injuries. But to the extent of significant injuries, I am told that not one but 2, both Starflight helicopters operated by Austin Travis County EMS, have been mobilized and have been involved in the transport of patients from that scene to Dell Seton Medical Center, and that is Dell Seton Medical Center that we're seeing. I think
that's Dell Children's.
Dell Children's,
yeah.
Excuse me, that we're seeing there on the screen. But
Dell
yes,
Seton, you are correct.
Dell Seton Medical Center. Again, Starflight, both helicopters operated by Austin Travis County EMS, mobilized as part of this response. And I'm told that they have now made multiple trips. Those helicopters have now made multiple trips from that scene southeast of Austin to downtown Austin to the hospital.
We also know 4 patients were taken to St. David's South, the medical center there as well. So multiple medical facilities involved in this response as well. Hayes County, Travis County, Bastrop County. Of course, this is an area, if we still have the map, we can show you just off State Highway 41 in rural Bastrop County. The road is closed there. You can see the red stretch of highway. That's about a 2-mile stretch near Caldwell Road. That's on State Highway 21. The bus crash happening on the right-hand side of that red. This, as we zoom out, it gives you a perspective of where we're talking about. Just south of the Circuit of the Americas, just east of State Highway and Toll Road 130 there. In that area right there at Bastrop County, Hayes County, and Travis County, kind of in a triangle in that area. So we're still working to confirm the origin or where this bus was coming to or coming from at this time, aren't we, Tony?
And Brian, because of the rural nature and because of the proximity of of multiple counties involved. That is one of the reasons that we are seeing a mobilization of law enforcement and medical response from multiple counties in that area. Again, Texas Department of Public Safety also at the scene as well. They are doing a lot of coordination in terms of organizing the massive scene. Again, looking at those pictures that Ford was bringing to us, this is a major scene with many agencies responding.
Let's go back out now to Fort Sanders for another look at the scene this afternoon. Ford, this is an active scene still. These responders are still working to secure and help as many people as they can there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it is massive and it's still going. I mean, we're watching ambulances come in and out. I'm watching law enforcement come in and out. Really quickly, I want to have our photographer Hickey show you though this way. If you look right over here, you know, Tony mentioned earlier there's a possible third vehicle involved. What we do see right now is a tow truck with a pretty big van on the back of it right now, kind of blocking off this road. That's what we've seen so far in terms of vehicles that could possibly be involved, but that's all we have at this moment. Now you want to come back right here. You can see vehicles in, like we said, this scene is still very active. And you can see that, I don't know right now, but I am looking at that school bus still catty cornered pretty much off the road right now, right here on State Highway 21. So like I said, you know, ambulances, EMS still coming in and out, still working to help these patients. Like you all mentioned, we know that patients are being transported to different hospitals across the area, across Austin. And so as of now, that's what we have. We're gonna make sure we check in with sheriffs, with law enforcement here soon to find out any more details.
It's KVUE's Fort Sanders reporting live for us in rural Bastrop County this afternoon. The scene of a bus crash, a school bus colliding with a concrete truck and another vehicle. Ford just showed us that. Tony's back with us now to recap what we know. More than 30 patients involved. We don't know the severity of the injuries, but you have confirmed 2 fatalities in this bus crash.
Based on preliminary information that authorities are getting from the scene, they are reporting that they believe that there are at least 2 fatalities at this time. We know that will be, of course, Brian, very upsetting to people. So we do want to just say that that is not the official word from the scene, but that is, we are trying to, of course, bring you the information we have as we get it. And that is the reliable information that we are getting from law enforcement who have descended on that scene. Of course, Brian, I can assure you we are working every possible source, every possible contact that we have to try to bring you all of the information as quickly and as accurately as possible.
And as we learn that, we will bring that to you. We'll have more, of course, coming up within the hour on KVUE News at 5. Again, a school bus involved in a crash this afternoon in rural Bastrop County. We are working to learn more information now. We'll bring that to you on air and online as we learn it. Senior reporter Tony Plahesky, I'm Brian Mays. We'll get right back to your regularly scheduled programming and see you back here at the top of the hour, 5 o'clock. Here we're bringing you the very latest from the school bus crash in southern Bastrop County. We have now received a statement from Hayes CISD. I'm going to read it directly to you. A Hayes CISD bus carrying Tom Green Elementary School pre-K students was involved in a serious accident early this afternoon. The students were returning from a field trip to the Bastrop Zoo. 44 students and 11 adults were on the bus at the time of the crash. Parents of students on the bus have been notified directly from the campus. The district is in the process of conducting reunification with all those students that were involved. Hayes CISD transportation staff, counselors, safety and security personnel, and other administrators have joined first responders either at the accident scene or at the reunification location. Senior reporter Tony Polhetsky has been following the story since it happened just under 2 hours ago this afternoon. Tony, we know that more than 30 people have been transported to area hospitals.
And Brian, with varying injuries is what we are being told. Some of them have very minor injuries, but we also know, and as we have been reporting, that Starflight, the two helicopters, medical helicopters operated by Austin Travis County EMS, have also transported, we are told, multiple patients from that scene to area hospitals. And so that is the information that we have at this time. But again, this leading to a major response by both law enforcement and medical personnel from multiple counties, including Travis County, Caldwell County, Hayes County, and Bastrop County.
And we know that area hospitals in Austin have been receiving some of these patients. Again, as you mentioned, we don't know the severity of the injuries, but you have confirmed that 2 people were killed in the crash this afternoon.
Tragically, that is the information that we have received from officials who are on the ground. Again, we are trying to learn everything we can. And Brian, we're seeing a shot of, I believe that's Del Seaton Hospital here in Austin. You can see just right there on your screen the tail of the Starflight helicopter, apparently bringing in the latest patients from the scene. Those helicopters, I'm told, have made at least 2 trips to that scene to try to bring as many of the injured and particularly critically injured to the hospital as quickly as possible. But Brian, I tell you, just to underscore the tragic nature of what we are seeing, a beautiful spring Friday afternoon, a field trip to the zoo with children and chaperones and teachers on a school bus, to have this tragic outcome is certainly heartbreaking.
And you could see that was a live, if we could bring that back up, I'm going to again describe where this happened. It's in that area near the edge of Bastrop County, Travis County, and Hayes County. This again was a Hayes CISD school bus from Tom Green Elementary School. That stretch of Highway 21 just east of 130 is closed in both directions. We expect that to be closed for quite some time as first responders are still at the scene. Again, this is the scene of the school bus crash. In the distance, over the top of the roofs, you can see the school bus is now righted. It had rolled over. The school bus there at the scene, as first responders are still there in mass. Many different units, of course, responding, as Tony mentioned. You could see a lot of the damage to the bus there as well. This bus collided with a concrete truck at around 2:30 to 2:40 this afternoon with 55 people on board, 44 students and 11 adults. A Tom Green Elementary School pre-K students class was returning from a field trip to the Bastrop Zoo this afternoon. Again, multiple injuries. We don't know the severity of those injuries. A Starflight arriving here at the hospital, Tony. And as you mentioned, both Starflight helicopters involved, one taking 4 patients to St. David South. This, of course, Del Seaton Medical Center in central Austin.
Right. And again, those Starflight helicopters operated by Travis County, which is part of this major response to that scene. And you can see, Brian, in the pictures that we've been showing, again, multiple officials from various agencies, including the Texas Department of Public Safety, which I understand may be taking the lead in the investigation to try to determine what exactly happened in those moments before this tragic collision.
I should also mention there was another vehicle involved, a third passenger vehicle involved in this crash on State Highway 21. We do not know of injuries to the driver of the truck, the driver of the other vehicle as well. But we are working to learn as much as we can, and we, of of course, will bring all of that to you as we learn it. Let's recap real quick for those just joining us. Our breaking news here. A Tom Green Elementary School bus from Hayes CISD carrying 44 students and 11 adults was involved in a crash this afternoon. 2 people were killed in that crash, 1 adult and 1 child confirmed dead. 32 other patients have now been transported to the hospital, to area hospitals, in fact, both in South Austin and in Central Austin at Del Seaton Medical Center. And Tony, of course, this investigation and response there at the scene on Highway 21 in southern Bastrop County continues this afternoon.
Absolutely. And of course, as we have been saying, Brian, we are reaching out to everyone with information, including officials who are responding to this scene and are arriving at the scene. But because of course, the number of people involved, the number of agencies involved, there's an effort to, of course, get all of the information and all of the facts organized before we hear from them officially.
Of course, we will bring you the very latest as we learn it here on KVUE. Of course, we'll have much more coming up at the top of the hour at 5 p.m. For senior reporter Tony Plahetsky, I'm Brian Mays. We will return you now to your regularly scheduled programming, and we'll see you back here at 5 for KVUE News at 5. Thank you.